What's up, guys? It's Truth Tiger here, and I'm going to talk about a really weird dream I had a couple months back. And this dream is about Lilith, and I'm not sure who she is exactly, but she is some kind of demon or fallen angel or some kind of dark, evil feminine entity of some kind. And yeah, I'm going to get into this dream. So I'm hanging out with this dude I used to work with, and this guy was not the best guy. I mean, I don't want to disparage the guy too much. Maybe he's turned his life around, but this guy was about 6'5", big time white supremacist, kind of into the neo-Nazi thing. Like, he read Mein Kampf and just had a lot of guns, just whatever. He was one of these guys who was kind of, sold drugs, was kind of destined to end up in and out of jail. And I remember we still got paper checks back then. I remember him like, $250 for child support. Man, I can't even believe this. And I remember just like hearing him freaking out over having to pay child support and stuff. And I'm just like, God dang, this guy's a piece of work. I come from a Jewish background, somehow it got out, so now this guy's like making all these nasty Jew jokes and Holocaust jokes to me, and at that point I was just like 19, I knew that guy was an idiot, so I just kind of laughed it off. I was like, whatever, and then we kind of became friends a little bit. We'd hang out and like smoke and stuff, but yeah, not a good dude, and he'd be mean to like waitresses at restaurants. Like, he was just like, he was that guy, man. He's that guy, just like super racist and all this stuff. But yeah, I'm in this dream and me and him are hanging out. And then he says, we got to go over to my mom's house to do something. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we go to the house. It's this kind of tall, skinny house. And we go up and it's like kind of busted up. It's got all these creaky stairs and stuff. And, like when I dream, I don't have the clearest dreams. I'm more left brain. So it's kind of more conceptual, but it's just really tall, skinny, weird, busted up house. And we're going up these staircases and we get to the top room and he's like, all right, this is where my mother is. I'm going to go talk to her. And I hear her just like kind of yelling at him and being weird with him and just, you guys have, and then he comes back and he's kind of looking defeated and he's like, all right, well, we have to do all this stuff. She said this, she said that, and then I was just like, man, like, I am not going to tolerate this. Like, I was angry, so I busted in there. And I see this woman, she's kind of sitting on this big chair that almost looks like a throne, if you will, but it's very, decrepit and moldy and kind of messed up. She's got black hair, dark eyes, very pale skin, kind of looks almost like maybe a dominatrix or something like that, I would say, kind of like that kind of look. She kind of has, I think she had like a black dress on or something. And I remember I just said, no, we are not doing that. I'm not doing that. Screw this shit. F this shit. Like, I kind of like started yelling at her and kind of like yelling on her, like kind of putting my finger in her chest and being like, no. And then she turned into a plate of food. And I took that plate of food and I just hooked it down the flight of stairs. And then at that point, I woke up. And I'm going to get into the interpretation of this dream. So what we have with Lilith is someone who will support criminals, be a matriarch toward criminals, and will sort of do whatever they can to support a bad man and to support an evil man. And I've seen this so much, bro. Every dumb homie I've known, they always got some girlfriend who's supporting them. And if it's not their girlfriend, it's their mother. How many times do you watch it on the news of like some dude like shot 4 people and the mom's like, he's a good kid, like, your kid who like, killed 4 people, your kid who like shot into a crowd, your kid who, killed some 15-year-old, he's a great kid. But we've all known women like this. We've all seen this dynamic. And when evil men come around, these women are, I'll support you, yay. And whenever evil, oppressive men, bad men, men who are screwed up, men who are jacked up, men who are completely backwards in life, this woman will always pop up out of nowhere and be there to support him and help him and whatever. And in the case of, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, husband and wife, sometimes this man will be bad to her or beat her or something. And she's, no, he's my boyfriend. You can't arrest him. No, I love him. And will just bend over backwards to enable bad men and because as men, we're the actors. We are willful, and we have, plans. So we have a will to do something, and we know how to do it. And as women, they are the caretakers, they are the supporters, and they are the detail-oriented ones, So we have this plan we want to do. We have something we want to do. We're going to do it. And then they're kind of like, all right, let me help you figure out some details. Let me support you. Let me pack you a lunch. Let me make sure your chapstick is good. Let me look over your paperwork, make sure everything's cool. That's kind of that feminine support and care. And it's like with these guys, it's like there's so much feminine support and care for them because of the Lilith spirit. And I'm not saying these guys aren't hard up or don't end up on the street or whatever, but it's just like these women will just pop up to enable it. And I've known so many homies who they don't have a job, they don't have a car, so I'll borrow my girlfriend's car, and I live at my girlfriend's place, and I help out with rent a little bit, and then some other homies living on the couch, and it's just like, oh my God, woman, why are you supporting this? Why? And that's what the Lilith spirit does. She supports these idiots and these knuckleheads. And in doing so, she is participating in the sin over them. She is. She is actively taking part. She is an active participant. And she's going to be just as guilty as them, Yeah, and the second part is there ain't no man in that house. She is sitting on the throne of the house at the top of the house. So she is in the masculine leadership position of the house. And there's two kind of meanings to that. Where's dad? Dad's gone. Dad didn't show up because, she, again, was someone who chose to entertain these not good guys and chose to continuously entertain them and kind of, oh, I love the bad boys, whatever. And the second part is to steal his position. Is to say, well, why does the man get to be in charge? Well, I'm going to be in charge instead of him, and I don't need no man, and all this kind of stuff, And when that happens, you have a house of complete and utter disorder. And this is why there's so much chaos and problems and stuff in our society. It's the spirit of Lilith, and look, I don't want to disparage any people. We're all going through stuff. There's a lot of rough characters in here. There's a lot of rough men, a lot of rough women, and we've all have our battle scars. We all have our demons. We all have our devils. I'm not going to say anybody's here is perfect. I'm certainly not perfect, but if you look at our society, you look at all these single moms, all these dads ain't raising their kids, all these women just doing whatever, sleeping with whoever, and it's just like, this is going to destroy our society. How can we keep going on like this, And it's like, we have a strong impetus to need masculine leaders. We do. And now I'm going to get to the plate of food. Why did she become a plate of food? Why did I throw it down the flight of stairs? That is weird. What does that mean? Well, the food represents her support, her kind of standing behind you, her helping you out, and it also represents kind of her feeding you knowledge in some way, and I'm kind of struggling with that one a little bit too myself, to be honest, but I think what it symbolizes is like, if one of these kind of people metaphorically kind of invites you over for some food, don't eat it, whether they actually do or metaphorically they do, don't accept their support of a Lilith spirit, of anybody like this, because they will come to you with that feminine support to, oh, I'll help you. And I've dealt with people like this IRL, man. I knew a guy and he knew a girl, and she had a kid with some other guy, and then she's with this other guy, and and she definitely had this Lilith spirit about her, and she even kind of had a look to her, she had a kind of, I don't know, it's like she wore a lot of black. She kind of had a purple aura to her. I know that might sound really weird to some people, but the Lilith spirit has a purple aura. And the Lilith spirit is connected to the moon. The moon is not evil at all. The moon is good, whatever, but like the same way Lucifer is connected to the planet Venus, which I know also sounds weird, but kind of makes sense. Lilith is connected to the moon. And look, the moon is fine. The moon is good. The moon is the feminine woman of the night who, collects the masculine sunshine of the day, and she kind of puts a little bit of it in her purse, if you will, and then saves it so you can have some light at night. Lilith, I'll say, is the dark side of the moon. There's no light there whatsoever. She is purely a woman of darkness, a woman of chaos, and a woman of destruction. So I'll talk about this girl I know. So she is kind of dating this guy, and he is the most weird, emasculated, effeminate. Like, he's got some weird fetishes or something messed up happened to him as a kid. I don't know what was going on, but like, he like wanted to like watch her be with other guys and stuff. And then my other friend, who's kind of like a gangster kind of guy, like he comes in the mix, and then they start doing stuff, but he decides he doesn't want the other dude watching. He wants that guy gone, and there's a whole fight and a whole whatever dramatic situation happens, blah blah blah. And then whatever, I was dumb back then, so I'm still kind of hanging out with them. And then like she's like flirting with me a bunch, and she's trying to get me to be turned against him, and she's trying to get me to cheat on her with him, and blah. And I'm glad I didn't do it, and there was a kid involved, and like I'm really glad I did not get involved in that whatsoever. And it was just one of those things where I'm just like, holy crap, like that, because that situation could have got really weird really fast, and she would like talk a bunch of trash about him to me, and yeah. And I mean, my friend who was the gangster, he was trying to, he was trying to like take the kid to school, and like, he wasn't he wasn't really equipped to do that, but he was trying to sort of like be okay. And I kind of like, at first I kind of thought like she was the good one and he was bad, but then more and more, I'm like, she is not the good one. Like, he's actually kind of the better one here in some ways. Yeah. And there was a whole fallout and all this stuff. And then I get a message from her, like, on Facebook, a couple, months later or something like that. And she says she's got this new boyfriend, and he's 17, and he hit her kid, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, she was like maybe 25 or something. Like, there's so much wrong with that. And just, I'm like, man, like, you want to talk about just creating chaos. Yeah. I mean, because look, like, you have the masculine order, and then you do have the feminine chaos. And I mean, there is like, chaos is not necessarily inherently evil, but it's like, you need masculinity to bring, it's more like the femininity is just a bunch of stuff. And it's there, it's all the matter, it's all the material, and it's disorganized. And the masculine comes in and brings that to order. And man, that wasn't happening. And I could tell you with her, man, like, chaos was just following her, and just kind of a strange person too, like kind of antisocial, not a lot of friends, trying to kind of get over on people. She kind of had a lot of different guys for different things. There's her former boss, and she kind of sweet talk him and whatever. Then she's trying to do that to me and do that to my friend, and it was just, and I've seen that with a lot of women, and it's just, they just try to essentially use guys as much as they can. They got one guy to, sleep with them. They got one guy to try to get money off of. They got one guy for this, one guy for that. And they think they can just sort of manipulate and play these games, and it'll be okay, and it won't blow up in their face. And oh boy, will it. Oh boy, will it. And going back to the moon, kind of, a little bit off, well, not off topic, but just kind of a point I made earlier. But going back to the moon, I remember on her Facebook page, she said she worked at the moon, and there's all this stuff about the moon on her Facebook page. And I was like, why does she have all this moon stuff? Like, what the heck is that, Why is she so into the moon? Like, what? And now I realize she had a Lilith spirit, and she was living out this woman of darkness and destruction and just, ridiculousness. So, yeah. So, I mean, I know I had that dream for a reason, and I know a lot of people watching this know exactly the kind of person I'm talking about, and know exactly the kind of dynamic I'm talking about, and have, been involved with this type of person, and it's just not good. It's never good news with these kind of Lilith people, and you really need to be careful. I think I like to call her Lilith the false matriarch. That's probably what I'm going to title this video as. I think it's a good, catchy title, but yeah, that's kind of what she is, because there is sort of a good lady of the night who holds up the moon and gives us light at night and kind of like watches out for us and looks out for us. And she is sort of the dark, evil version of that. The same way that Satan is a dark, evil version of God and tries to act like God, she is trying to sort of be this, like this good feminine spirit who's taking care of you and cooking meals for you, and you can stay over whenever you want. You can bring your friends over. Oh yeah, you guys, everyone come over and hang out here. We'll all have a party, you know, like doing all that stuff. But underneath there's a very dark agenda. She's trying to use people. She's trying to manipulate people. She's a very bad mother to her children, but is trying to act like it's the fault of some man. She is choosing the worst men possible intentionally, and yeah, you know, just causing chaos in society, causing chaos in the home. And like, guys, like, don't tolerate these kind of people in your life. Like, if you have some women like this in your life, like, get them out. And a lot of guy friends too. Sorry guys, just gotta scratch my nose there. Just a little itch on my mustache. But yeah, a lot of guy friends, and they weren't buddies. A lot of guys she was trying to put on the back burner. So that's what Lilith likes to do. She likes to have all these different guys on the back burner just in case. Just in case. So guys, if you know a woman like this in your life, get rid of her. Don't tolerate her. Don't have her be a part of it. And for the women watching, like, if your girlfriend is like this, like, she's not going to be a good she's not going to be a good girlfriend. She's not going to be a good sister. And with men and women, like, just don't tolerate this dynamic. Like, it's really not good, you know. It really is. And like, look, like, she likes men that she can control on some level, whether it's financially because they don't have their shit together and, oh, baby, can I borrow your car? Ba-da-da-da-da. Or if it's some guy who's all weird and emasculated and has whatever sexual issues or something like that, then, you know, she can control him on that. And just she uses flirting and uses the feminine wiles, you know, to try to gain control and influence over men. So just it's bad all around. It's ridiculousness all around, and just don't tolerate this. And you know, if you got any criminal homies, or if you've been on the wrong side of the law, like, you've experienced this woman before, and she seems nice at first. Oh, she's a nice lady, you know, she cooked us some food, she had us over for dinner. What a sweet gal. But very, very slowly but surely, you'll kind of figure out, like, this person is controlling and a manipulator, and it's just weird and strange, and it's just some funky energy that you do not want in your life. All right, y'all. I think I'm going to end it here. I'm just going to say a quick prayer. Like, I'm just going to say thank you, God, for all the good women who are respectful to men, the good women who respect the masculine order that's necessary for a family and for society, and for the good women who, you know, will entertain and support good men, and who will reject and not entertain bad men, because that's part of your role as a woman, is to play defense. You know, you are the goalie, and he is trying to score the goal, and you have to sort of say, hey, like, whoever, you know, isn't sort of worthy to get in isn't going to get in, and whoever is going to get in. You know, it's the same with, like, birds. Like, if you're the boy bird, you have to do your mating dance, and it's got to be good if you want to get in, you know. And, you know, with these women, it's just like, it's their job is to be selective and to choose the right guys, and they are not doing that, you know. And, you know, so for the good women, like, I give you a praise, I give you a blessing. Like, I don't want this to be kicking a woman down or pushing a woman around or being mad at women or whatever, but like there's a big warning, and this is out of control in our society, and I need to speak on it. Like, God literally gave me a dream about it, so I got to speak on it. Yeah, so I would say God bless the good women, God bless the good men, and like, guys, if you have a woman like this in your life, whoosh, get rid of her. Get rid of her now. Don't wait around. You don't know how crazy that broad can get, because once you got kids with her or whatever, before you know it, you can't see your kids, you can't do this, you can't do that. It happens to so many guys, and some whole custody battle, some whole BS. So like, get rid of her before it gets bad. And for you bros who are having to deal with all that, like, I also want to pray for you. Like, God, be with the men who are having to deal with these Lilith spirits and having to deal with these destructive women in their lives, and bring these destructive women to justice, throw them down, and let these good men be vindicated, let them be reunited to their families, and just let this evil be exposed for what it is. All right, guys, I'm going to end it here, and yeah, enjoy, everybody.